Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to my new video where we are going to go over my top 5 tips I think every single Katarina player needs to know. Now, my goal behind this video is to make you a better League of Legends player, as well as to give you a better understanding of this champion as a whole. I put timestamps at every single point throughout this video. There's going to be a skip intro up at the top, as well as the bar down below is going to be segmented if you want to scroll to a different tip, because you already have a good understanding of what I'm trying to cover. If you're new to my channel, my name is Lolfit. I do educational content, do tips videos, guide videos, also stream here on YouTube and sometimes Twitch. If you want to contact me directly with any questions, I'm going to put a link to my Discord down below and to my stream as well. Now, I know Katarina has a very big one-trick community, so make sure to add your own tips down below if you are a very experienced Katarina player, as well as any new builds that are coming along with the new season. With all that out of the way, let's jump into tip number 1. Alright, and getting into tip number 1, we're going to go over a couple small things. This is really going to help you with your chasing and your ability to escape in particular situations, and that is your ability to jump over walls without vision of anything on the other side, nothing to shumpo to, and all you have is your W. So what you want to look to do is you want to throw down your W, and then you want to hit your E on the edge of the dagger in the direction that you want to travel. So for example, we're going to toss a W down here, cursor over to the side that you're looking to hop over. Now you have to be really careful with this ability. You do not want to try and do this on too fat of a wall, because you are going to be unable to hop over and you're just going to look silly Wing and Eing in place. Now what this means is that you are going to have a safe side and a unsafe side when you are playing Katarina and there are no shumpo targets on the other side of the wall. This wall, you're able to do the trick where you're able to pop over the wall. However, on this side of the wall, you are unable to get over it. So you need to be careful when you are looking to play out those all-in trades. If you are leaning in your wave, when you're, say you're in the mid lane right now, if you are getting consistently all in and they're looking for trades, leaning towards the wall side that is safer for you can be an effective way. For example, you would not want to be leaning towards this side because you're going to be unable to have an easy escape with your WE. That way, this is going to be great for dodging out abilities, particularly high impact spells. Say you're playing against something like a Fizz, if you are able to time it out correctly, you can just WE over the wall, and this is going to be a very nice escape and an ability to chase down people as well with this jump. Second, really small thing that you can look to do with Katarina that is really nice to check where people are in bushes and if they are in stealth. If you didn't know, your R Death Lotus is similar to the Morgana R, where you can see if there are any hidden targets in the bushes from around you. As you can see right here, it is gray, so we are unable to use it, but as we step closer to the target dummies that are hidden in the bushes, you are able to Death Lotus, and it is glowing red. So this is great when you are, maybe you're roaming down bottom lane and you're looking for some easy kills on the lower leveled champions. You can check bushes. You don't really have to even go inside of them. All you have to do is get close enough to the bushes to see if you are able to R any targets, and this will let you know where the enemy is as quickly as possible with this lineup. And that will wrap up my small micro tips for tip number 1. Alright, and getting into tip number 2, we're going to go a little bit into the laning phase and how you should be looking to play this out. Whenever you are playing an assassin in the mid lane, you have a bunch of really great options to snowball. Now, you are a little bit forced into snowballing if you want to win a large majority of your games, because you might be outscaled by some of the hyper scaling mages that come out of the mid lane. So what you want to look to do is look for roams. When you're roaming, you want to augment your roams with control wards and sweepers, and you also want to look for underlevel targets that you can look to beat over the head with the solo lane experience that you are going to be acquiring. Now, access to an ult is extremely important, so a great roam timing is when you're level 6 and the enemy jungler is level 5. Putting the jungler behind with the combination of using your ult and ignite and burst him out is going to be a great way to snowball, because you are going to unlock your top laner to fight if he wants to fight, because he says, oh geez, the enemy jungler is dead, I can actually look for an all-in, I don't have to be worried about ganks. And then effectively you're putting your jungler ahead to affect the map more and put more just strength in his hand. So whenever you are roaming, always look for these different timings when you are playing Katarina, because this is going to be a great and effective way to snowball a game. And that will wrap up tip number 2 for Katarina. Alright, and getting into tip number 3, I'm just going to go over a really nice quick auto attack reset that makes it so you can take very, very nice, quick, strong trades against the enemy, particularly if you have any early AD and they are in a lower level situation where they cannot punish you after you do a trade and get out of melee range. Now, as you can see here, if you do auto E auto, the second auto attack comes out extremely quickly, but if you do an auto Q auto or an auto W auto, they are going to be a lot slower. As you can see here, it comes out in a regular timing, or auto W auto, it's going to come out at a regular timing. However, if you are doing an auto E auto, it is going to be very fluid and you should be able to get a nice amount of damage off rather quickly. And that will wrap up tip number 3 for Katarina. Alright, and getting into tip number 4 with Katarina, what I want to talk about now is team fights and how you should be looking to play them out. It is extremely beneficial when playing Katarina and playing any assassin in general is you want to look to come from fog and get a very nice flank off on the enemies. This is achieved by using things like control wards and sweepers and coming from unexpected angles. On top of this, combining it with using your allies pretty much as meat shields and just decoys for the enemy's rather large abilities and rather large CC cooldown abilities. Something like a Thresh Hook, something like an Ash Arrow can be a very effective way, because this is going to enable you to get off your full combo on the enemy uninterrupted. So always look for high impact spells to be thrown, as well as commitment from the enemy team and from your team into the team fight. You do not want to be the first one in the team fights in a lot of different situations, unless you're just extremely far ahead and you can just look to burst someone out very, very quickly before they can get their abilities out. But in an even game state, or maybe a little bit ahead, a little bit behind, you do want to look for flanks and look for your abilities to absorb your allies to absorb high impact abilities, and this is going to be a great situation to set you up for success when you are playing Katarina. This does involve you having a good understanding of what the enemy has when you are jumping in and what the enemy champions are going to be providing. So always keep an eye out for those high impact spells, and hopefully they are just being thrown at your allies while you are waiting patiently on the side for some very susceptible targets to reset. Also, waiting a little bit on team fights for the commitment is going to really provide you with quicker resets, because you are not jumping in when everyone is at 100% HP. You are going to have an ability to burst out a particular target extremely quickly and get your resets and the reduced cooldown on all of your abilities. And that will wrap up tip number 4 for Katarina. Alright, and getting into the final tip when playing Katarina, we are just going to go over a couple of smaller Shumpo targets that you might not think of when you are first starting out in playing Katarina. Now, you obviously aren't able to Shumpo to wards, that would be a little bit overpowered. However, you are able to Shumpo to Scryer's Blooms, you are able to Shumpo to Blast Cones, and you are able to Shumpo towards the Honey Fruits, and then obviously any sort of enemy monster. However, with this ability to escape rather quickly with your E, you want to picture minion waves when you are playing around them is your strength, because they provide alternative targets when you are in a different lane situation. If you are not around minions, you are relatively going to be a bit weaker when you are playing this champion, because it might even be able to extend your Q bouncing blade. So you want to think about this champion a little bit like Yasuo and how he is able to dash around a lot on the enemy minions when he is using his E-dash. So whenever you're looking for trades, doing them around minions can be a quite effective way to provide yourself with a very nice out for you when you are playing Katarina, as well as the same with tower dives. Whenever you're tower diving an enemy, it's always nice to have some minions around, because they will provide you with a quick out that you can take when you are playing Katarina. That will wrap up my 5 tips for Katarina. If you have any questions for me, you can hit me up in the comments down below. And as always, guys, take it easy.